Okay, we ready to bring them in?
Judge, actually, I do have some, just a few things I want to clarify on the record before they come in.
Okay.
Ms. Hale, you would agree with me in listening to the totality of your interview 4 days after that you never tell the ranger that you saw anybody that was dressed in black with long hair and a fire and a gun?
Correct.
You agree that you never told him that you saw dirt flying up on the playground? That was to you, I guess, putting two and two together, you felt like you were being shot at, which was your opinion.
Correct.
You never told the ranger any of those things.
I'm listening to that now.
Right. And that was 4 days after it happened.
Correct.
And you would agree he gave you every opportunity to say everything that you remembered about what happened.
Yes.
And seeing the shooter and seeing somebody with a gun on your school would have been something that you would have told him at the time.
I would think so, yes.
In the dirt and you connecting that to their bullets being fired in your direction.
Yes.
Okay. So the question I have is, when you talked to the prosecutor on those incidents, did you tell them those details about seeing the person in black and with long black hair or with long hair and a firearm? And did you tell them about seeing dirt being kicked up at the playground?
I believe so, yes.
All right, Your Honor. And so based on that, we have never gotten any notice from the prosecution. And that is clearly an inconsistent statement with the statement that she did. The prosecution has never provided us. This is clear under Brady. It's clear under Michael Morton that if this is the first time that I'm hearing of this in a trial of this magnitude is when she testified on the stand about it. And so if she did report these things to the prosecution, we were entitled to that to prepare for this. And this is a trial by ambush.
Good. Response?
We're checking to see if it is indeed part of the grand jury testimony we've turned over to them.
Okay.
Yes. It's provided in the transcript that we provided to them on, what's 134. Here's the part which talks about the extension cord.
I agree that she said that before. I do not see in the grand jury transcript, there was talk about dirt flying up around the kids. I do not see where she described seeing a shooter, seeing a person with a gun matching the description of the shooter. And apparently she told the prosecution that before trial. I mean, Judge, that's an incredibly important detail that I'm finding out about now in front of the jury.
And how's that Brady or exculpatory, Your Honor?
Well, it's like insanely different. It is 180 degrees different than her prior testimony to the grand jury and her prior statement to the ranger. And it is of a matter of such importance because it has placed the gunman on the south side at the same place where my client was, where he responded to and where he went to. And so if this witness has told, and I understand witnesses testify, they remember things differently, but when the prosecution hears something that the witnesses remember differently than anything that we have, it's their obligation to provide that to us, because that would be what could be used for impeachment.
But we provided with the grand jury testimony that had about the dirt, whether or not it was a man in black, they've already stipulated that there's a man in black that was there.
I agree, but not at that location at that time. And this is a man dressed all in black, not just all in black, with long hair and a firearm and a gun.
Like there was more than one man in black and a gun.
But that's
At the south end of Robb Elementary.
the prosecution, I'm sure, is not trying to intentionally miss the point, which I'm sure that the court understands my point, which is it's not about who did the shooting. Of course, we all agree with that, but at what time, when and where and how, and what teachers had identified a shooter or had seen a shooter on campus?
Well, the location is pretty important, Mr. Turner. Do we have anything that you show in your notes? You turn that over to them?
About the man in black, no, Your Honor, I don't.
Specifically the location at that particular time?
Well, I guess the idea is the witness has testified that she told the state. Does the state acknowledge to the court that they were told that?
I said, I believe so. Sorry.
I mean, the thing about it is that this woman was initially interviewed, in a very traumatic event. So there's going to be things that she remembers, for as time goes on. But I agree with Mr. Turner, that's not exculpatory. We all knew when saying to them, hey, there's a shooter, all black with a long rifle, is not information that they didn't already have throughout this case.
In opening statement, they said that Melody Flores said the man that was in all black, but she got the gun wrong. So this is
I
not
think
like
his
new
complaint
information.
is more to the location of the man in black in relationship to where his client was.
I don't think she said anything about where his client was, first of all.
She put him
Second of all, I think the testimony will be that Melody Flores saw him in the same spot that this woman has said it was. There's no new testimony there. There's no new evidence. There's nothing different than what they already know.
She never told us that the specific location that she saw him, about that south end of the door. She never told us that.
Okay. So what are you asking for?
Well, can I have a moment?
Pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah, just need a little bit to talk to them.
Yeah. Finish the record, so go ahead. Before they ask for their remedy, we'll go ahead and ask your question.
As far as the conversation you had with the prosecutors and the man in black, did you discuss, or do you have a firm memory that you discussed where he was, or did you simply discuss him and you saw the man in black?
I don't remember. Are you talking like during the grand jury? During the grand jury or when?
No, when you talked to the prosecutors in preparation for trial.
Oh, I don't remember now.
You don't remember?
If I discussed a location, no.
And I'd also like to ask Miss Mitchell, do you have any notes that we're discussing where?
I guess we're gonna take testimony. I'll tell you what, ma'am, let's do this. I don't want you going back up to the fourth floor. Could you go with one of our bailiffs and just step out in the hall momentarily, and we'll bring you right back in? Don't talk to anybody about the case if you do me that favor. All right, Ms. Mitchell, you raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the evidence in the testimony given in the cause will be the truth, self you got.
Yes.
Mr. Turner, we can just do it from council table if nobody objects. Go ahead.
Thank you. Were you there and conducted an interview with Stephanie Hale?
Yes, for trial preparation.
And did you take notes as a part of that?
Yes.
Do you have any notes as to Ms. Hale telling the prosecution where the man in black was?
No, she told us there was a man in, well, she looked, she saw a man in black with a long rifle. But she didn't tell us that he was specifically at that location at the south end on the sidewalk. She did say.
Thank you. And I'd also call Mr. Garza, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry, pass the witness.
Yeah, but clarify for me, what was in the grand jury testimony that you did disclose?
That there was dirt flying up.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Question. Ms. Mitchell, the notes that you're referring to, on what date was that interview done?
I have to go back to my calendar. It was sometime in mid-December. It was right before Christmas.
Of 2025?
Yes.
Were you the only prosecutor present at that interview?
No, it was me, Mr. Garza, and Mr. Turner.
All right. And you were conducting the interview?
No, Mr. Turner was.
And in that interview, the witness that we're referring to told you she saw a man dressed in black with long hair and a long rifle.
Right.
All right. And you noted that she had never said that before at the time that she said that.
I didn't note that.
Well,
We're prepping her, so I can't say that I specifically noted that.
but I mean, you in just the preparation, you would have noted that a fact like that an additional person seeing the shooter at the time before the shooter entered the building outside, you would have noted that as a significant fact. You would agree with that?
I would say that he was seen by several people. So one other witness saying they saw him, such as Ms. Flores, or, was part of that.
All right, but I guess what I'm saying is that whether or not he was seen, you understand and know that not only is location important, but time is important. Where the shooter is at a certain time, you note that is an important detail.
That is an important detail, but I wouldn't say that I was, at the time, had dissected the time frame with her to the point that it was so significant that it stood out to me.
Well, and I guess that you'd also understand that different witnesses at different points in time viewing a shooter in different locations. All of those things are important details as to know not just where the person was, but when in time the person was. And different witnesses will provide different times, right? You understand that as a concept.
Right, I understand that.
And I'm not talking down to you, I'm just trying to make sure that, I know you understand it. I just want to make sure that it's clear on the record. And so, because this focus on whether or not she talked about the location, if that's the first time that she ever said location, and it just happened to be the location in trial that is where our client was, and now she's put the shooter on the south side of the building on the sidewalk looking like he's going into the building on the south side in trial today. Are you saying she never said that to you before? In your notes?
Okay, were you asking me two different questions, like seeing him there versus seeing him specifically on the sidewalk? The term "the sidewalk" today caught me off guard because I had never heard that before.
Had you ever heard her say that she had seen him either going into the south side of the building or approaching the south door?
No,
Did she ever tell you that he was on the south side of the building?
no,
So nothing in your notes. Now,
no. Like I
okay,
said,
so here's my question. At a time when you're talking to a witness and for the first time they're telling you that they saw the shooter, neither prosecutor or anyone in the room thought to ask her, where did you see the shooter? That wasn't a question that came up in anybody's mind to ask her where the shooter was?
You know, you're getting very nitpicky. Let me tell you something. When we were prepping these witnesses, I was running a law office, and so I was in and out of interviews. So I can't say that she said that and I like, oh my God. You know, it wasn't that type of reaction for me. So that's the best I can say.
I guess I know, but as a person present in the interview, I mean, this is who.
What I can say is today when she said that he was on the south end, I was surprised. That's what I can say.
And we were too, or that she saw him at all. But you were not surprised though when she testified that she had seen him.
No, because she said that she had seen him. She said that during trial prep.
And so,
What she had seen is a guy with long hair with a gun.
and so you understand with all the information that you provided us, that your office provided us in discovery, you understand how we would be surprised that she testified that she saw him.
No, because I would assume that y'all knew that, given everything, given all the information that's been provided to y'all, that y'all would know that the testimony, the evidence is that he's on that south end of that building shooting into room 102, right? And so if he's at 102, that's the farthest room on that end, on that south end, then somebody's gonna see him, because there's casings from that room.
But somebody is going to see him versus a person in a particular place at a particular time saw him has a lot of it's a whole different thing. And you would agree with that. That's why I was asking that question. Place and time are both important considerations when we're talking about Adrian Gonzalez's conduct. What he saw, what he could see, what he could know, what others knew. Those are all important considerations.
But we already have other witnesses that say that he was, that the shooter was seen at the south end of the building.
Right, and
We
you
have
would,
other witnesses.
okay, and so.
So I didn't think that would be a surprise to y'all.
Well, let me ask you this. So you say you have other witnesses that will say that. And now you have provided, you would agree, you have provided a witness that will corroborate those other witnesses, right? And make those other witnesses seem more credible instead of their testimony standing alone. Right?
Right.
Okay. And so that would be an important thing for us to know before we started this trial. And to know when you knew it. You would agree with him.
I would agree that that was already known, that was out there.
Well,
That's why I don't understand why it's a surprise to you.
Because you didn't report it when she told you that. That's why, because you didn't turn it over when she told you that, and it was something she had never said before. And I think you will agree with me that has not been turned over by your office in any shape or form before.
Well, I would agree with you that I so asked you to come to my office and review our file. That was on the record. I said, I want you to come look through our complete file to make sure that you have everything. And that was agreed to, but then I was never contacted. So I did make our file available on the record before trial.
And you understand the prosecutor's obligation is not on the defense. The prosecutor's obligation
Now, I
belongs solely
understand
to
that,
the
but I wanted to
prosecutor.
make sure that this is tons of evidence. I wanted to make sure y'all had everything, made our discovery portal available, we gave y'all a server. I wanted to make sure y'all had everything. So I did make that available.
I'll pass the witness.
I had a few follow-up questions on timing, if I may. Ms. Mitchell, to start with, there are casings not only in front of 102, but also south of that. Is that correct?
Yes.
And those casings are not attributable to anybody other than the shooter. Is that correct?
That's right.
And both pictures and statements have been given as to that. Is that
Yes.
correct? And as far as timing, the only timing this witness has said is when she heard firecrackers, she headed to her building and saw the gun. Is that correct?
Right.
Did she say anything about Adrian Gonzalez being there or not being there?
No,
Did she testify at anything about Adrian Gonzalez being there or not
No.
being there? So the timing is simply that as she hears what she believes to be firecrackers and where there are casings, she sees the man in black. Is that correct?
right.
And so how does that timing in any way impact Adrian Gonzalez?
I mean, it's speculation in that sense, because she can't know our defensive strategy or what we're doing. But it's pretty clear, Judge, that we have these things down to the second. Prosecution presented the things in a big blurb. We have it to the second, and the second matters, and every second matters. And so timing is important to the defense strategy. I'll just represent to the court. I don't need Ms. Mitchell to testify about
We
how important it is
we
to my
have the
strategy.
timing of when every shot was fired, including the shots at the south end, Your Honor.
Okay.
We do have exactly.
Let's finish up the evidence that you want. Did you have any other questions with Ms. Mitchell? Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, did you have any other follow-up cross of Ms. Mitchell on?
I'd ask you to examine her records in camera or her notes in camera to find out if that's the
Did you
case.
want to call Garza or not?
Yes.
Okay, let's finish the evidence. All right. You solemnly swear the evidence in the testimony given the cause be the true self you got.
I did.
Go ahead. Yeah, let's do it for the witness stand. You're a little far away. Okay, thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Tell us who you are
My name is Ricardo Garza Jr.
and what do you do for a living?
I'm an investigator for the DA's office in Uvalde County.
Were you present when Stephanie Hale was interviewed?
Yes,
And do you recall her saying anything about where the shooter was?
no,
Do you recall her saying that the shooter was in black?
yes,
And did she say anything about the white car or Adrian Gonzalez during that period of time?
no,
Did she ever give any testimony about seeing Adrian Gonzalez or where he was in proximity to the shooter?
no,
And did she give any indication of timing?
no,
Was she looking at a phone, a cell phone, as to timing,
no,
whether in minutes or seconds?
no,
So she could give us no clue as to what time she saw the person in black.
correct.
That's the witness.
Investigator, so I guess first and foremost, you would be willing to get on the stand and testify that the witness, and she testified, had never said before that this person was on the south side.
I don't recall her saying that.
That's different than what you testified to, which is that she did not.
Well, she did not.
Okay. So as far as the person that her telling you, you've looked through this file, I'm sure.
Yes,
Yes. And you know that it's significant when people were able to see the shooter from the time that he went in the culvert to the funeral home, to walking down, to the shots he was firing, and who could see him and what was going on at the time. You know those are significant facts.
correct.
Okay. And the shooter was apparently, I guess, in this December 2025 interview that you were present for, a question was asked, or Ms. Hale told you guys in that room that for the first time that anybody knows that she saw the shooter with a black shirt, with wearing black, long black hair, and a black or and a long gun or a rifle. Yeah.
She said that.
Right. And you recognize that to be the first time that she has ever said that to anybody.
I don't know if that was the first thing she said to anybody.
Well, I guess to anybody in your investigation that would come over in discovery to us.
Correct,
You knew that was the first time she'd ever said it.
correct.
And nobody in that room thought to say, where did you see him?
That was not asked.
Okay. So as an investigator, as prosecutors, you have a significant fact that's come out, and you're saying there was no follow-up questions to her saying that she saw a man dressed in black with a rifle and long hair. Nobody followed up. Nobody said where. Where were you and where was he when you saw him?
That was not asked.
As an investigator, do you understand that that follow-up question would be a common question that any investigator or prosecutor that you know of would ask if somebody has come up and said a material fact like that? Where were you and where was he when you saw him?
Correct,
And nobody in that room asked.
correct.
I'll pass the witness.
No further questions.
Okay, you step down, have a seat back at council table.
May I address the court on what issue, Your Honor? Yes, sir. I'd just like to point out that the indictment says and accuses Adrian Gonzalez of the time that occurred after Melody Flores informed him where the shooter was. That's the time that is relevant and material to this case. Where the shooter was any time before that has no bearing on Adrian Gonzalez or his conduct in this case.
Well, we can't delve into their trial strategy, but I'm gleaning that there is some issue in that regard for the trial strategy. So, any other evidence on the matter?
Not from the defense, Your Honor.
Arguments?
I guess, well, the only thing that I would like to ask, because we started to speak to my client and then they put on more evidence, so I had to come sit over here. I'd just like a brief moment to talk to him. I mean, it's his case. It's his part of, I want to know how he feels about, because there's certain remedies that are severe.
Well, there's several remedies, Heath, et cetera, that we can talk about, but yeah, talk to him.
Thank you, Judge.